Welcome to Split Ends and Friends podcast. This podcast isn't just about hair, makeup, fashion, and how to be successful in this industry. We will talk about all that, but it's much more. It's about how hairstylists are changing the world. We're bringing communities together and making a difference. We're spreading kindness around like confetti. Hosted by Tricia Rivas, owner of Trixies Salon and founder of the nonprofit Dreamcatchers Foundation, Inc., and co-hosted by Hannah Arendt, social media guru, hairstylist at Trixies, and director of education.
Hey everyone, thanks for coming on and listening with Split Ends and Friends. And Miss Hannah Banana, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Hannah. I work at Trixies. I'm the director of education there. I'm happy to be here today. This is our second episode.
I know, so exciting, so exciting. It's been fun to see how many listeners that we've had come on or people that have been following.
Yeah.
I think we're almost up to 70 followers on our Instagram. Goodness gracious, I tell you. What the world we've started to become on how many followers we have on our Facebook and Instagram. So, what we want to talk about today is what keeps us motivated in the salon, not only in the salon, but also in life. I was telling Hannah earlier that the past couple months, and for some reason, this last week and this week, I heard numerous times throughout the day from guests that they just weren't feeling motivated. They were tired. They're, not happy in their job. They have personal stuff going on. And honestly, at least here in Iowa, we haven't had this bad of weather for, my goodness, how long did they say? What was it? Anybody before the age of, was it 26? Has never seen this much snow or this many days without sun or whatever it might be. But it was amazing to me because I truly believe that has a lot to do with it. And in our industry too, January and February are so slow. And, we're always looking at ways to build our business through that time, different ways of marketing, getting out in the community, having our guests come in and try new services. So, I mean, it's definitely, with us being in the industry for this long, we know the characteristics of what that's going to look like in January and February. But for our new stylists, I know they definitely get scared when that January and February comes along, because October, November, and December, I mean, they're just swamped. Everybody wants to look good for the holidays, wants to look good for the family. Usually pictures, a lot of pictures are going on. So, again, I don't know if it was the weather. We just, a full moon. And what do they call it? The retrograde. Yeah. I think it all has, it all plays into effect. Oh, yeah. But it definitely has been something across the board. So we wanted to talk a little bit about today on what keeps us motivated. What videos that we like to watch, what books that we read, what groups that we're in. One thing that definitely motivates Hannah and I is videos. We like to go to a lot of marketing classes. You're taking a SEO and YouTube class tomorrow, correct? Yeah. Being that that's something that we're getting into on YouTube with our vlog. So that's definitely stuff that keeps us a lot more motivated. But what are some videos that you like to watch, Hannah?
I have a lot that I like to watch. Obviously, YouTube is a huge resource. I follow different people on there. Dusty Rhodey, Sam Villa on there. All free education. It's awesome. I also have subscriptions to Heather Chapman's Updo training, which she's obviously just awesome. She goes through different ways of prepping the hair for different styles of updos, all of that stuff. And of course, she just makes everything look so easy. Mm-hmm. And then also John Raymond's Salon RX Pro, which is he is Aveda, but he doesn't talk about Aveda the whole time in the education. It's about his curriculum, and I mean, you can learn 5-strand braids, you can learn makeup, you can learn stuff about consultations, all kinds of good stuff on there. That's a subscription. I also really like freesaloneducation.com. It's all free, and it's a guy, I can't remember what his name is. That's horrible, but he does all kinds of different haircuts and how-tos on there. Mm-hmm. Those are my favorites, but I could can probably go on and on.
I know you could. I know you could. What would we do without the day and age of YouTube?
Yeah, and so much of it's free. It's crazy. I mean, I'm kind of like, what?
Yeah. Again, like what we talked in the our first episode, stuff like that, because we didn't have YouTube when I first started. We looked through books.
Yeah.
It was all about the magazines. We didn't have Pinterest, and we looked through. A lot of it was like hardback books, of different colors, different formulations, all that good stuff. So, like I said, thank goodness for the world of YouTube nowadays. Most definitely. For new stylists that you think that are, if you can remember back when you were that first stylist, what were ways that kept you motivated?
I think being creative. So like if I had downtime, finding someone to come in and do something I had really wanted to try. And then of course that is just a win-win for you because you have them kind of promote you. And when people ask about their hair, they say you did it, but also just getting an opportunity to practice and getting a chance to do stuff that you don't get to normally do on an everyday basis necessarily. And then just going to lots and lots of classes.
Yeah.
I still do, but especially those first few years, I went to classes all the time and took the same ones over and over to really like master the basics of everything before I kind of started to learn other stuff. But I think that's really important to master the basics.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, most definitely.
You can't take a class too many times, I don't think.
No.
Because you always take something different away from it.
Because you really love doing Aveda color.
Yeah.
And I know that you've definitely went through the training with Lupe Voss, and remind me what they call that.
The Mastery Series?
Yeah, the Mastery Series. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know that you've really, really liked that, and that's definitely kept you motivated. And what's great with that, too, is that you come back and you teach us new techniques, new color formulations, and that's what also helps keep us motivated. I know that there's the Aveda Stylist page on Facebook, and that has a lot of great motivation on there also, and tips and tricks on how to keep yourself motivated during those slow times also. Now, I can't remember, Hannah, are you much of a reader?
I really do like to read, although I don't. The last few years I haven't been reading much. I tend to fall asleep like the second I read. So usually if I read, I go for more like nonfiction or stuff like that is more just taking certain things away from it. Yeah. But I do like to read. Yeah. Yeah. And I do a lot of, I do some like audio books.
Oh, goodness, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. And I love to read also, but I have found myself, probably because we're starting up with our own podcast, listening to a lot more podcasts. Yeah. I know that the Thriving Stylist is one that I'm listening to right now that I absolutely love. I'm trying to think of some other ones that I, absolutely love. There's a lot of Facebook pages that I belong to, but some of my favorite books have been like the Highly Effective People, Profit First, Radical Candor, You're a Badass. I absolutely love her series. So, yeah. What Facebook groups do you like to belong to?
Some of the local ones. I'm in like a Midwest stylist page. I'm even in a page for it's mental health in our industry because sometimes that can be tough. Yes. All the anxiety and things that people have anymore. So that page has been really awesome because sometimes you just want to like complain about something or get advice from people that you don't know. No, exactly. Yeah. Which I have found that group really nice. Different education pages. Aveda, we're lucky that with Aveda there's some pages like Aveda Men and different pages that help with education wise. But and then of course we have our different people that we love to follow that we kind of get involved with and follow them on Facebook. And of course like Cunity and that kind of stuff. Oh yeah. Yep. That we follow.
Most definitely. Cunity, Nina with the owner of One Agency. We absolutely love following her. Nina with Passion Squared. Absolutely love Nina. And I think if I remember correctly, it's people purpose and then profit. And I just absolutely love that, because she definitely talks, both Ninas do, talk about how it's about putting the guest first, and definitely being a giver. And then all of that afterwards comes together, after you're taking care of those guests, after you're taking care of yourself, that money, eventually, not maybe when you're first starting out, right. but just comes together, most definitely. What are some other things that help you stay motivated? Maybe not even on business side, on the personal side, because you're such a crafty person. And let's be honest, it can't be always about business.
Right. So at my house in our basement, I have a craft room, and it's like my happy place.
It is.
I can start projects and not have to put them away, or just sit there and watch TV. I have a little TV in there, have a little couch in there, have a little craft desk and all kinds of stuff. So that's really something that I do to be inspired, or because for me, I'm very creative, and so when I'm not feeling creative, sometimes it can be hard to do hair, because you're like, you're not into it, because you need a little inspiration. So it keeps me inspired in all different ways by being crafty, and just having alone time. I need some time where I don't talk to anybody. So that is where I get that time, which is nice.
Yeah. And you love music.
Yeah, music is huge. Live music always leaves me feeling renewed after.
Oh, yeah. And then your two little chihuahuas.
Yes. Well, we have Sneeze and Macaroni. They're goofy little dogs. And they're my little babies. So, of course, I love those.
Most definitely. Yeah. And I think that's why it's important, too, that we do things outside of the salon that keep us motivated. Yeah. Going on retreats that might not be so business related. Getting out. Going to different restaurants, trying new, beers and wines, if that's what people like to do. Mine is definitely camping. I love to be out in nature, love to be with our family and friends, literally just sitting around the campfire with no makeup on. I don't have to put a bra on if I don't want to. I don't even have to brush my hair or my teeth if I don't want to. So I definitely think that it's just about as much, if not sometimes more important, about feeding the soul and what motivates us than the business part.
Yeah. My husband, Tim, is wonderful. He's a little angel, but
he
always is telling me, like, you have to be excited about things that are other than work. I know you love your work, but you have to be excited about other things. Otherwise, you just get so drained.
You do. Yeah, you do.
So I have to remind myself, like, okay, I can sit here and do something different. I don't have to keep dwelling on emails or whatever it might be, because eventually it's going to catch up with you.
It does. Oh my gosh, yes, it does. And I think too, talking about the mental health aspect, which, you and I both struggle with anxiety. Yeah. And if you don't slow down, and I guess that old saying, smell the flowers or the roses, it does catch up to you. It does. And, it's not always so easy when our guests come in and they're having problems. We're also having problems, but, you have to be on 100% because they're there for you. Yeah. One of my guests came in yesterday, and I was laughing because she sat in my chair, and I said, "How's your day been?" And she's like, "Oh my goodness, Tricia, it's been horrible. Absolutely horrible." And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, okay. Tell me what's going on." And so she started in with her story, and then she turned around at me and she goes, what are we doing with this? And I'm like, "I am so sorry. I didn't know if you wanted me on therapist mode or if you wanted me on hairstylist mode." And we both just started cracking up because it's so true. It is so true. Yeah. And you and I have talked about that we would love to eventually do an episode on mental health, because it is something that's definitely so important for us. And, how many millions and millions of people struggle with it in their life. Yeah. And I definitely agree with you. I see a rise on it in our industry, and I think it's something that we need to be open about and talk about, because I do feel as stylists that we sometimes have this misconception which we do in the industry when we're with our guests, to be 100% on, but we also have to be taking care of ourselves.
Exactly.
Again, like I said, I think it's more important to be feeding the soul outside of work, because that's what makes us happy. And in return, that makes us happy at work.
Yeah.
So I completely agree with you. On that.
I think hairstylists are such caring people. I mean, no matter who you are, if you're in our industry, you obviously want to deal with people to some extent. So it's hard to not like take that on from them, like let that affect you, which I think is something you learn over time to not how to deal with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a lot of people in different jobs that have this probably same issue, but you don't want it to, bring you down or let it affect your day if someone else is having a really bad day, but you want to be there for them at the same time.
Do you have a favorite quote? You know how I love my quotes.
I'm not as much of a quote person as you, so I don't have anything off the top of my head, but I definitely always have some saved that I look at from time to time.
Yeah. Mine is definitely, which I have it tattooed on my hand. I was looking at my wrong arm. I've got my bird there. Live the life you imagined.
Yeah.
And when I start to, get in that area of having a lot of anxiety and, feeling some depression, I, have to look at my arm and be like, okay, what is it that I need to take a step back on? Did I really need to, talking about that, one thing that I wanted to focus on 2020 is having those intentional meetings, that I don't have to attend everything. Sometimes I have that fear of missing out.
Oh, yeah.
Like I have to attend everything. everything. And I think as you get older, wisdom comes along with that too. And you start to realize that is not the case. And our kids are getting older too. Mateo's going to graduate next year. And, so there's a lot of things that I don't want to miss out on. And Marley's 10 and, Colton just celebrated his 26th birthday. And as you realize too, time goes by quickly. It goes by very, very quickly. So definitely keeping ourselves motivated. And I think we do a good job at that at Trixies, keeping each other motivated.
Yeah.
And
oh, for sure.
If we're having that bad day, just be like, hey, can I give you a hug? Let's get a coffee. Let's just go get go get lunch real quick.
Oh yeah. We're all very good about that. And it's actually kind of funny. Sometimes when I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, my day's crazy, I'll look over at somebody else's books like you, or I'm like, oh my God, those your books are way crazier than mine. And she probably hasn't even mentioned it to anybody. She's just going to do it. So that honestly motivates you too.
It does.
Other people.
It does. And do you remember when we first started out the Slunt? I mean, you and Ari were building up your books. I had already had a full clientele, but there would be times where we'd have 3-hour openings and I'm like, we're going to the movies.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I sometimes miss those days. I mean, I'm very, very grateful for how busy we are. But, we just find those times to go to the movies on the weekends or, oh, my goodness gracious. Wasn't it Twilight that we used to go and watch?
Yeah, and 50 Shades.
And 50 Shades of Grey. Oh, my. And Magic Mike.
Yeah, and Magic Mike. We always went to the midnight showings after working for 12 hours.
Oh my
goodness. So there are like 3 more hours to go to the movie.
Yeah.
It's so fun though.
Oh yeah.
It is so fun.
It is. Well, and it's important on being surrounded by a team that also fills your cup.
Yeah. Oh,
sure. And that you love to have fun with and be able to do things outside of the salon with each other. So yeah. Any last words you'd like to give on motivation?
Well, I did want to share one other little tidbit, which I know you'll appreciate this too and do this, but I think meditating is a big part of self-care and helping get through the day. I've been really trying to be more regular about it, but I love like my Calm app and my Headspace app, and I think that's really a good tool for all of us as hairstylists, even if you don't have anxiety or anything, just to kind of that's been my most recent thing I've been more into.
I love that. I love it. Do you journal?
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I should.
Mm-hmm.
But I have like 5 journals.
I know. I love to journal. I love to journal. And right now I have this gratitude journal that I got from Amazon. And then I have like the 5-minute journal. But just writing down at night. So my morning always starts with saying the rosary, just because that's something that is important to me and it calms me down. But at night I'll always just write even just a few sentences in that gratitude journal on what I'm grateful for. Yeah. Because too, as humans, it's sometimes easier. Well, I shouldn't say sometimes. It's easier to not be grateful or complain than it is to be grateful for the things that we have and to be happy, which is, sad in itself. But even just having those 3 things to write down definitely always helps. I really want to try to get into yoga. I know that we've talked about this before. It's just my mind does not relax well. That's why I like Pilates, because it's just a little faster paced.
Yeah. Well, you need to try booty yoga.
Yes, I know.
Because it's like a mix of dance and yoga, but you still have your moments where it's like kind of mindful and all of that. But
we need to just have your sister.
Yes.
We need to get her to move here.
Yes, we do.
Most definitely. Is there a booty yoga in Des Moines?
There are a couple places now.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You're going to have to, when we're done with this, tell me.
Take our podcast to booty yoga.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah. So it's BUTI. When I first learned about this, my sister teaches it. I was like, booty yoga, like, oh wow. Like, what does this mean? Which it is. There is some booty shaking and some twerking going on in it.
Oh yeah.
But it is seriously the most fun. So anyway.
Well, I remember when she came in, I taught it at the salon. Wasn't that for an Earth Month event?
Yeah, we did a self-love event.
Yes.
We were ahead of the curve there. We did a self-love event. We had a burlesque.
Oh, yes.
T-shirt.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh, that was fun. We'll have to do another one.
We need to, you know what? Let's just add that on to the...
We're adding it. You heard us. You heard it here. We're adding it to our list.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
Oh, yeah. That was so much fun. Yeah. And I'm happy that you brought that up, Hannah, about self-love. One of my girlfriends, Abby Rudd, and that's her maiden name, but we had a dream catchers meeting a couple months ago, and she goes, you know what, Tricia, there's nothing wrong with radical self-love.
Yeah.
And I think about that numerous times, throughout the week, when I'm starting to feel that anxiousness or, I can't get to this meeting, or I felt like I let that person down. And I'm like, you know what? Abby said there's nothing wrong with radical self-love. And she's right. Yeah. There isn't. So, well, we would love to hear what motivates you guys. We're always on the lookout for a new book to read, or if there's a group that we should be following, or a speaker. I'm a huge person on mentors also. I have some phenomenal mentors in my life, and I think what's great with a mentor is that you can be honest with them, and they're going to be honest with you back. So yeah, we would love to hear what keeps you guys motivated. So happy hump day. We hope you have a phenomenal day. It's going to be 68 degrees here in Des Moines, Iowa. So we are so excited, so excited. Hannah and I jokingly said, I think that we're just going to skip work today and go find a patio and have a good breakfast and some margaritas. So have a wonderful day, and we will talk to you guys soon.
Bye.